Coach Chris with Team Critical Bench. Okay, so I've done a lot of videos on exercises and workouts, but I have yet to do a video on the best way to warm up. Now, for me, I'm going to share with you what I do before just about any weight training routine that I do. It only takes 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many rounds you're doing or how many repetitions you're doing. But I want to share with you 5 things that I'm doing to prime my body and get it ready for just about any lift. Whether you're doing squats, deadlifts, bench press, pull-ups, bent over rows, standing overhead press, any of those big lifts require really your whole body to be prepared. So that's why I'm pretty thorough with my warm-up routine. I don't find that walking on the treadmill or doing the stair climber or elliptical or riding the bike does enough to really get me ready and primed for a workout. So I'm going to share with you my 5 top things, starting with, believe it or not, the jumping jack, which is what we all did when we were kids, and then it seemed to just kind of fade away like it wasn't useful anymore. But I promise you, it's very useful. So what I'll usually do is at least 1, if not 2 rounds of 25 reps. So they look something like this. Try to get as much range of motion as you can. Touch your hands at the top and at the bottom. Make sure your feet are really stepping out wide. These really shouldn't be that taxing. It's meant to be a warm-up. I think I've got 5 more to go. Good. So notice, I'm getting that big sweeping movement with my arms, really starting to lubricate the shoulders. I'm hitting my calves by jumping in and out. I'm warming up my hips a little bit, gets the heart rate up a little bit, especially if you end up doing a couple of rounds of those. So let's go ahead and get to our second warm-up movement. Here we go. Okay, so for my second warm-up move, I'll do band pull-aparts. Now, there's different ways to go about this. What I'll usually do is I'll take a green band that's light to moderate resistance, but I'll double it over, grab one end, and grab the other. You can grab it right up at the grommet, or you can go all, kind of grab over the handles a little bit, and you want to just pull all the way across your body, come back together. Now notice right now I have a pronated grip. So what I typically will do is I'll do about 20 reps with a pronated grip just like this, and then I'll immediately switch to a supinated grip or underhanded grip and do another 20. This is a great way again to stimulate the shoulders, the upper back, gets the scapula moving, because a lot of times when you're doing any upper body movement, it's essential that you have the shoulders ready to go. So, still sticking with this as like my second move, is I'll simply just grip it underhanded and do the same thing. Because it's important to not only, always do pronated, you want to do supinated work too. And you should feel the muscles really working at this. This is getting those rear delts fired up. I love these for especially on chest days and back days. And just go for a good burn, whether it's 15 reps, 20 reps, whatever the number is. Band pull-aparts, awesome warm-up movement, pronated and supinated. Okay, now we're going to get to my third warm-up move. Okay, so now if you don't have access to a dowel or like a long a bar, it has to be a light bar, basically super low poundage, under 1 pound in weight, because you're not trying to do this as a strength movement, you're doing this as a warm-up movement. So a fixed bar, like a wood dowel, a broomstick, that kind of thing, or again, double over a band and do over and back. over, and back. And you can do these for 10, 15, 20 reps, whatever number you feel comfortable with. Fantastic on the shoulders. The wider you go with your arms, the easier it feels on the shoulder. So if you are using a fixed bar, hold the bar fairly wide to start, and as your shoulders start to get maybe more used to that movement, you can start to narrow your grip a little bit. But I just love how these feel on the shoulders. I usually do this as my third move after I've already done pronated and supinated pull-aparts. I go right to over and back with the band. And again, focusing on my shoulders and my back, keeping my neck without any tension in my neck or my face. Just trying to loosen and lubricate the joints a little bit. Warm those muscles and tendons up, getting them ready to perform some lifts. Okay, so let's move on to my fourth warm-up movement. Okay, so for my fourth warm-up move, what I typically will do is I'll come into a Smith machine or a power rack or a max rack, any kind of rack that offers a bar for you to be able to adjust the height. You want to put that bar just below your hips so that it's a comfortable height to step over, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to stand sideways to it, so perpendicular to the bar, not facing it. And what you want to do is step over with both legs, stay close to the bar, and then step back. Notice that nice big hip movement I have to do with my legs, up. So it's awesome because it's firing your adductors, it's really starting to warm up your hips. And trust me, guys, whether you're doing chest, back, or legs, it doesn't matter. You want to have your hips warmed up, okay? I don't know anybody that's a good bencher that doesn't count on their legs on the flat bench. I don't know anybody that's a really good squatter that doesn't count on their hips being warmed up. So regardless of the movement, it really is important to really get these guys fired up. So over, oops. Sometimes if you don't lift that leg high enough, you're gonna whack the bar. And back, up, and over. Might take you a few times to find a height that's comfortable for you. I typically will go over and back 10 times. So over and back, that would be 1, over and back, that would be 2, and I'll do that 10 times. But then what I do is I raise it up just a little bit, probably about 12 inches or so from where you were. So now it's hitting me right about here on my side, and now I go under and back, okay? So it looks like this, under and back, under and back. Again, try to keep your spine long. The idea is that you're really sinking your hips low, taking that step, burying your hips down and coming up and over and back. Your head should just go below the bar, just missing it. Focus on how your hips feel. That's all I'm thinking about, is that feeling that stretch through my groin, feeling that my hips really dropping deep down, like I'm prying. Prying is what you do when you're doing a movement like a goblet squat, where you're really trying to sink your hips as deep and as low as possible while pushing your knees outward. So that's what you're doing here, is you're pushing your knees out and dropping your hips low. It's awesome for getting the lower body primed and ready for strength training. And again, I'll do 10 of those, under and back being 1 rep. Okay, so now we're going to go to my 5th and final warm-up move. Okay, so my 5th and final warm-up move before virtually any weight training routine that I do is doing a hanging from a pull-up bar. Now there's two ways I go about doing this. First, I do a free hang where I just take any grip and I try to go weightless with my toes just resting on the ground. And what I do it for is to completely decompress my spine. So I get all that weight, all that tension off my spinal column, and it typically feels really, really good on your lower back, and feels good just through everything, through your lats. Everything gets a nice stretch out of it. Because if you think about it, our backs, besides when we're at rest, when we're sleeping, our backs are always under some type of compression. Whether we're holding weight up here, or we're sitting, or whatever, we're always flexing and extending our spine and putting it in positions where it's not really happy with us. So when you get the opportunity to decompress and hang, you should take full advantage of it. So that's what I do first. Just get any grip, let all your body weight just hang free, toes are on the ground, hang for at least 10 seconds, if not 20. And try to think about just relaxing. There should be no strain or tension anywhere. Just hold on with enough grip so you don't slip off. And then, after I do that for a little while, I also elevate just using my upper mid back muscles, so like my rhomboids, and I just elevate and stretch. Elevate and stretch. Give those a try. It's a really interesting way. You're actually starting to rotate in those scapula and get those rhomboids primed and ready. I'm typically very, very tight through my rhomboids, and oftentimes if I don't do a thorough warm-up and I'm doing some type of pull-up or pull-down, I'll end up getting, straining too much with my traps, and I get one of those shooting pains that goes right down between my shoulder blades and lingers for 3 or 4 days. So when I go through the proper warm-up routine, almost 99 out of 100 times, I don't get those kinds of pains. So, highly recommend the warm-up routine that I've just put together for you. Try to maybe limit the amount of time that you're spending on the treadmill before strength training, and actually do movements that are priming your body and getting your muscles prepared to do any lift, whether it's squat, deadlift, or flat bench press, and anything beyond that. So thanks again for watching. Comment below, like this video, and Critical Chris will be at you real soon with some more really good tips. See you again.